Hello, hello, hello. Hello, my beauties. Hello, hello, hello. Ah, it's Yogini Viv here. Welcome, welcome, those watching in the replay. I want to apologize. There's probably a really loud hum. It is my air conditioning. I think I am going to go and turn it off. So, this is my Sunday Live, and I have been doing that pretty much every Sunday. Um, just a lot going on. Earlier today, I finished teaching my Awaken the Divine Feminine, the second round of running it, and so it's a little bit, sad and poignant because um, just ending with a group, you'll never have that same group again, you know. And so I just did that just a couple hours ago and want to be here to check in with you. Hi, King's Wellness. Hi, Sharon. Really, you don't hear the hum? Because I'm sitting like in line with it, but a little distance away. So just getting my background ready. Yes, I do color code my books. They're a little messed up now, but try it. If you want a little more tranquil, the minute I did it, because I am an artist, there's one of my cloud paintings up there. You can see on my very top shelf. Um, Once I color coded it, I just was like, oh, I feel calmer. I feel more peaceful. So good. I am glad. I'm glad you're not hearing a hum. So I'm in here, and what was the quick topic I had put? How to not get pulled into the darkness. There's a guy I watch. I don't think I'm going to mention his name. Hold on, maybe I will. Brzezinski. I don't watch him too much, guys. Um, Mark Bajirski. Um, because sometimes he does get, which is what I want to talk about. So many folks on YouTube, the main thing, they want to get a lot of views. Okay, so goddesses, I want you to remember that. The first thought of most creators on YouTube is, how can I get as many views as possible? What does that mean for you in terms of this title that I currently have about how to not get pulled into the darkness? I mean the darkness in the world. And it's not a positive darkness, because there can be night and earth and darkness that is positive, that is nurturing. I mean, like the darkness, the bad darkness. And I will be pulling some cards based on that. Like, what do you need to do? Because I want to keep my intuition sharp. What do you need to do to not get pulled into the darkness? Um, so many YouTubers, and it is seductive, right? Because there's dark energies around us. Um, and so when you talk about it, especially if you talk about it in an alarming way, it can grow your channel. It can grow your channel. All right. Obviously, like, unless you talk about finance or something, but even there, if you work in what upsets people, gets them emotional, this is just human nature. Your channel will grow. So be first aware of that. That's just my first warning to you. So the last time I was on, I was very upset because I had let myself get pulled into the vortex, which is something that Mark was talking about. He's using the word the vortex. Mark Bajirski. A lot of you probably won't like him. Some of you may know him. He talks a lot about crystals, and I think he makes jewelry, sells crystals. I think he's in the UK. But I do think there's a dark agenda. So I want to talk about it, but not from a place of fear. But I think it is important to talk about. I know I always get, like, my audience is like, oh, child, I'm not even paying attention. And I keep saying, that's good, but it's still around us. It's like you're in a soup, right? You're like, there's a soup or a stew, right? And we're like swimming in it. So how to not get drowned in the negativity and the darkness, because we're basically, what and this is not spiritual bypassing. People use that, I think, if you won't get into the dirt with them. But we're going to get into the dirt a little bit. The powers that be want us to be agitated, fearful, angry, and upset. When we're in these lower states, it is absolutely easier to control or at least steer us, especially with anger and fear. You can see that. I'm going to say in both sides of the political spectrum right now, some sides more than others, but you can be controlled when you are worked up. So I know a lot of you, I'm like very intelligent, spiritual people, you're like, yeah, I'm not even watching that. That is the first step. Like, don't give it too much of your attention. I agree. Don't give it too much of your attention. But yet we're in it. So I want to know how you're feeling. Um, no, hey, and Avila, no, you did not. I am really just talking about, and I may change my title. I'm an artist. I reserve the right to do that. Okay, I can. So I'm going to go off on a tangent. My light is not good because I have a blue covering over a skylight. So I do truly not have a brownish blue tone. Okay. It's just the sun is literally coming through this blue filter. Okay, so just give me some grace. I actually look better than you're seeing here. Okay. How not to get pulled into the darkness. Cut down on media consumption. And when you are watching media, if you find, this is my clue. All right, if you're a sensitive person, you're empathic. Many women are. Many people are. Different generations are. If you feel, if you can monitor your body as you're taking in something, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, notice how you feel. Try to stay aware of your body as you're taking in the content, the information. I'm even going to say the programming. And notice how you feel. And if you don't feel good, stop that right away. Stop whatever it is. Now, I'm speaking here from experience because I am the type, and this is human nature apparently, and marketers know this. If you start telling a story, it is human nature to want to hear the end of that story, right? That's the whole basis of film, of books. It's like our brains are wired to hear stories. So I'll give you an example. If you start watching like some true life murder mystery, or like I did yesterday, guys, and I want to know what you think about this. Some random Brazilian girl, okay, random Brazilian woman, started like her own cult. My mother would say, Lord of mercy. And I start watching it. Almost an hour of my life wasted on this woman who was a model from Brazil, attractive enough, got into modeling. That wasn't enough for her. She was making good money, started her own basically cult, started recruiting girls to come to America. You know, Brazilian girls, easily influenced, like with emotional issues, whatever. You know, they were normal, but obviously very sensitive. She brought them, got them into strip clubs, got them into prostitution. She's sentenced to 8 years. Okay, I'm talking about this only, in fact, because so then media highlights it. If you watch it, then it's like you're living that, you're experiencing that. I ended up feeling angry, upset for the girls. The main woman who had her own cult, she's just like, I didn't do anything wrong. She was just like, um, and it also bothered me because she claimed to have, magical powers, and she used that claim to manipulate these young girls. Had a boyfriend who kept guns in the house, so then the girls were afraid. She threatened that, oh, well, I'm going to tell the cops you're a prostitute, to keep them in prostitution. So it was just that type of stuff. When you're watching it, tune into your body, tune in when you're watching anything, whether it's the news, whether it's a reenactment of a shooting, whether it's how Europe or Africa voted in their election. Check in with yourself, okay? So you take a breath. If you remember, check in with yourself and just see, how am I feeling? How is this affecting me right now? Okay. Very important. Very important. So I want to know what you think in terms of the darkness around us. All right. I'm just going to put up who's here. King's Wellness Ranch. Welcome. No notice on the time. It's true. I just turned on live, and that was it. And Avila is here, and Sharon is here saying, yeah, you're not hearing the hum. What do you think about this? How are you doing in terms of what the media is putting out, the contentiousness in America right now? How are you all doing? How are you coping with it? How are you coping with it? And I do want to pull cards, and I will. The question and theme is for you, if you would like me to do a bit of intuition for you, apply it to you. The question is, how can you not get pulled into the darkness, the dark energy that is wanting to divide us, wanting, like I said, if you're just joining, there are powerful forces, whether you think they're ultimately evil or whether you think it's just about greed and control, which of course is evil, but do you know what I'm saying? There's different levels. They want us to be angry. They want us to feel powerless. They want us to feel scared, confused, hyper vigilant, not trusting of other people. And the more you tell a society not to trust others, what do you think is going to happen to that society, right? Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. What do you think is going to happen to that society? The more distrust you can build in people, the society starts to rot from within. Okay? So there are powers that be that, whether that's a side effect for them and their climb to power, their rise to power, they want to keep their grip on power. How do we, as much as we can, stay out of that matrix, that dark energy? Okay, so yeah, I want to hear what you think. I mean, it really, I think we need to share, like I said, a lot of us, the Black women in my audience, which I think is like 70% of my audience, it's not 100% of my audience. I think we Black women will come from, I'm just not dealing with that. Come from this like strong, like it's not affecting me. I'm telling you, it is still affecting you. Okay. So the other folks who are not strong Black women, you may not know, but that's it. That's like, I'm just not even dealing with this kind of, you have heavy nightmares, facing insomnia, European context. I am curious. Please share, and Avila, because Europe is going more right wing. Again, just saying it. I'm not gonna hype it up, but it appears that way, right? There are countries. I had a friend who's very spiritual, does charts, does astrology, and she is Hungarian by descent. And she had had a dream that she could go back to Hungary, maybe get a little house, with some American money. And she's the one who told me, oh, Hungary is gone way right wing, right wing. I was like, oh, okay. Um, France, I don't know where France is right now. So I want to look at it as it's cyclical. So human nature, there is good, there is evil. All religions say that. That is not just the view of Christianity, which of course biblical teachings, yes. Other religions talk about there is good, there is evil, and there are cycles. There are cycles, and so I feel like it's like a wheel rolling, and it goes up, or like the Wheel of Fortune card. It goes up, it goes down. There's maybe relative peace, and then it starts to swing again. Like it starts to swing. So I'm going to put up your comments right now. So don't feel ashamed or embarrassed if you're having nightmares, um, or restless sleep. If you're a sensitive person, it's likely that you are, because how could you not? There's a famous quote, you guys, about, wait, appearing sane in an insane society. Like, you guys, that quote. It's a beautiful quote. It's very simple. It's about being normal in an insane society is in of itself insane. All right. So at my age, I've lived through many, many presidents, administrations. Um, Things would usually be a little more hushed, more pushed down. Now I feel like the ugliness is right in your face, right? It's in your face. It's instead of being at least a genteel or a polite cover, that's just ripped off. It's like the bandage is ripped off and you're looking right at the sore, right? Instead of the bandage covering it up. So I'm going to put up some of your comments here. Yeah, I'd like to know in terms of if you want to share, and Avila, if you feel safe to share. Um, yeah, so Sharon says you don't watch the news at all. And of course, if something truly is happening, somebody's going to tell you. That's one way to deal with it, is just not watch the news. And I actually do not watch the news until something happens, and then I get sucked in. And again, like I said, I'm not blue. It's just I have this blue covering and it's casting a blue light on my face and really annoying me because I look blue, which is not a healthy coloration. Okay. Ugh, ugh. What are you going to do? So, yeah, don't watch the news at all, right? Is one end of the spectrum. You know, like if there's really bad weather coming, like recently in my area, there was a tornado watch. I don't think I knew about, well, no, friends told me because I don't watch the news. I'm like, if it's really big, someone will let me know. Someone will signal me. Someone will call or text me. And that is always the case. So that is one way to do that. I hear you. I hear you. It's kind of hard because everywhere is the same. Yeah. And Avila, I'm trying not to feel that. But yes, my sense is, and I've been saying this probably for a couple of years in a few of my videos, I think there will be places of war, strife, um, really horrible things, and there'll be pockets of peace. There'll be pockets of peace. There'll be pockets of relative tranquility. I do believe that. Um, yeah, that's the sense I get, that's the sense I get. I set the tone for my day. I have enough going on in my life not to entertain fake news. Exactly. How do you set the tone, Sharon? Can you share with us some things that you do? Let's make it, my suggestions, and I will probably give them, but how do you set the tone for your day? I completely agree with you. The worst time to watch the news, and they force you on your phone. A friend of mine in another country was like, Viv, I can't figure, like my phone just feeds me the bad news. And I'm like, yeah, you mean like those alerts? And she's like, yeah, it just, when I log on, this page just gives me the news. And I think she tried to take it off and it went away and it came back. I'm like, why is it so important that they're trying to like put your face in it? Force you to look at it, right? What I'm saying is I really think, and I know this sounds very conspiracy theory, and it can be, I'm coming from a spiritual take on it. I do think our energy as human beings is powerful. So there are those who want to shift the energy on the planet into these really negative, heavy states. And the way to do that is to kind of get in and affect our emotions, turn on the lower emotions. All right, taking us away from our higher states of love, compassion, kindness, um, definitely. And so that is, I believe that truly is an agenda, because even now, I'm really going to quickly drop into the political situation. You're being told to take sides, and both sides are still negative. Both sides, you got fear, you got worry, oh my God, and over here you got fear, you got worry, you got anger. It's like they don't want you to have peace. They don't want you to have any sense of peace. All right. Oh yeah, no, right. In terms of Europe, yes. Economic crisis, joblessness, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, and I cannot shift because now the sun, I literally was sitting this way so that, because the sun, as it's going across, I was out of it because it's above and it's that horrible light, like in horror movies, you know, the light from above. It's not a good light. But unless I move a little bit more this way, here, let's move a little bit, see if I can get out of the light. If I can get out of the light. So I'm going to pull some cards. Hold on. Let's see how far my cord will go. My MAC cord. Oh, Lordy. Lordy, Lordy. So I'm just saying, stay conscious of it. Um, I think many people also are taking things that, like, oh, yeah, that happened. I'm sorry. But a recent event that happened, something about it just strikes me as too contrived. I don't actually believe it. I don't actually believe it. And I'm not one of those false flags people who, by the way, typically would be on a particular side and who would say, oh, that's a false flag. It didn't even happen. I think things can be staged. And I do think that people can lose their lives as part of a an event that can still have been a planned event, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm not denying that, you know, people could lose their lives. I mean, we do stuff like that all the time in terms of wars, right? People lose their life, but it might have a covert intention that is not fed to the public. So when you look at one of the main images that came out of the recent event, it was so photo op, it was so perfect that I'm like, I go with my gut. There's something, and I feel the same way a little bit with Ukraine. Again, not that there isn't actually war going on, but that we're not being shown the full, all the players and what's behind it. Especially in the beginning, the what was happening with Ukraine felt very contrived, very almost staged in a certain way. And again, I'm not saying that it's things aren't happening. I'm saying that there might be players and people being moved into place that we're not being told about, and it's just being presented a certain way, is what I'm saying. Um, so that's just my 2 cents on that. Yeah, I know the Black woman's perspective is like, please, like, no, I don't have time and energy for this. And I hear you, Sharon. I actually recently I've had some issues in relationships lately. I also think that there was a strong Mars energy. Mars is very much a warlike energy, fighting energy, defensive energy. And I feel like astrology also, I wouldn't even use the word astrology. I do think that the planets affect us. In the same way that we know, like, the moon affects like, it sounds weird when you say it like that, and yet we know, like, the moon, affects the tides and affects our bodies because we're made of water. So, like, we know factually it has particular effects, but other effects we might say, well, no, that's not so. Um, but my friend who passed away, guys, we would often have the same issues happening at the same time, and I could only ascribe that to astrological, like, um, alignments. But yeah, I'm put up all your comments. Oh, no, 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 that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, I hear you. Europe, parts of Africa. There are places that you might have thought also, because I watch a lot of travel channels, especially specifically Black women expats, Portugal. I watch Ecuador. Um, Things are in flux. That's all I'm going to say. I think we have to stay really a certain amount of vigilance with our piece and just be aware. Especially, are any of you watching me? I know I'm not the travel channels. I'm not the Stephanie Perry channel. I'm not Piggy Girl Travels the World. But it's my interest, even though my channel isn't about that, is about where on the planet might one find their best home. Like, that's important to me, because to put it into terms that when I first realized this really moved me. My mother, poor, not highly educated, got herself from the Caribbean to America for a better life. Humanity has always done that. Humanity across the spectrum has always moved for food and resources. So when you see these, oh, this crisis, that crisis, it may indeed be a crisis, but it's not unusual. Human beings always will try to, especially for their children, right? So my mother came here from the Caribbean for higher paying jobs. Okay, maybe the education is better for my child, right? They come looking for betterment. That's always the case, you know? Wow, Sharon, we have a lot in common. My dad, in his older age, was obsessed with the news. I do think that's an older person thing. Specifically, not saying no young people does that, but I think as we get older, especially if we're a little lonely, we can turn to the news to almost babysit us. So any of you who have elders, consider, I'm saying that I know older people are very stubborn usually. Usually they're not going to like, you're not going to be able to change them. But my father would buy two newspapers. He'd buy the New York Post and the Daily News. And I'm like, Dad, these are so similar. And he just looked at me like, no, they're not. I'm like, no, look at the headlines. New York Post, Daily News. The Post was more sensational back in the day than the Daily News. I was like, maybe if you got the Times and the Daily News, I could see what you're doing. Anyway, he'd watch news all day. So yeah, I agree. The 24-hour news cycle is definitely not good for us. That, I mean, and I think everybody knows that, right? So like a CNN where you see a crisis and then you notice it's a 2-hour loop. So it's just, they're just looping the same thing, of course, because nothing updates in 2 hours. I mean, maybe we find out, I don't know, the we find out the last name of somebody or we find out some random thing. So the 24-hour news cycle is not healthy for us. Oh, okay. We had to know current events which mask the foolish in our home, as others are worse off than us. Huh. I think I know what you're saying. Hmm. It sounds like it was part, though, for your dad. It was part of like he felt it was educational. My dad had a bit of that. He had a bit of that, but he became obsessed. He did become obsessed. And Avila, oh, okay. No, I know you're doing your hair, but I need to know what you're saying. I believe that too, because you cast that a while ago because I saw a bunch of comments come in. So you're going to need to expand on that, and Avila. You need to stop doing your hair and come back and tell me which one of my comments, in terms of what I was saying, that you believe too. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I had paused a little bit because so much was going on. You know, my dear friend who I went to Italy with twice had passed away, and there was stuff. It's still unfolding. Like, and I got a little burnt out because I was studying Italian 2 hours a day. Yeah. And just now I'm feeling like it might be clicking, but I had stopped. That's very common. To be really honest with you, most people study a language and then they drop. It's actually more unusual, especially in a case like mine where I'm not in the country and it's like I didn't have a set date. It's unusual for someone to just keep going. So yeah, no, I'm keeping going. Absolutely. Very, very much. Hmm. I came back home after a near death experience in the UK. I felt left out by the institution I was and had no choice but to return. And in here, I had a similar experience, and now I'm into medication. Hmm. Okay, so you had a near death experience in the UK. That's very dramatic. Dramatic and potentially traumatic, unless you took, like some people with their, hold on. Hmm. Some people have a near death experience that is very positive for them. Hmm. I had no choice but to return. Oh, did you leave like a college or institution where you were studying? And here I had a similar experience, and now I'm into medication. Just to cope with everything that's going on, which is against your perspective. Yeah, medication. hmm I think medication, of course, it's up to you, your doctor. I'm not a doctor, but it can be sometimes for crisis. It can help us get through. It can help us get through a little bit. Oh, health center. I felt left out by the institution I was where you were. Okay, the health center, and you had to come back from the UK. The UK doesn't pull me. Now, if you have family there, I understand it. Hang on, guys. I was supposed to drink my tea while it was warm, and my medicinal tea, um, and I let it get cold. So now I really need to reheat it up. But so my main thrust with this video, and let me know if you want me to pull a card in terms of how can you maintain your sanity, your perspective, your sense of self. Let me know. You have to let me know in the chat, and I will pull a card for you. And I really want to. Should I just drink it cold? I'm supposed to drink my tea hot. Okay, so I'm gonna wait and reheat it. It's my own fault. I should have drank it, but it's so nasty tasting. If any of you have ever had Chinese herbs prescribed for you, it tastes like mud, but with probably mud tastes better because mud's probably neutral. It can taste really, really bad. Was a stage. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Um, some of the particular image, the flag was in the background. I believe I don't know the number of the president, but the hand was in a fist. The face, I think the blood was on the face. It looked so perfectly staged that I questioned it, is what I'm saying. And I really am not a false flag person. I think in general the false flag thing is ridiculous because then it gets us to not believe something happened. Like when people say a school shooting was all staged and things like that. I'm not that person. But this particular recent event that I am, alluding to, I think that's actually relatively easy to stage. You go down, you come back up, you've got what looks like blood on the face. It, the reason I say that also, and I know this is controversial, it's just an opinion, is that I can't believe that if as many Republicans believe that, oh, somehow the Democrats and it's all they wanted to do it and Biden wanted to do it. If you're gonna miss when you try to harm someone, any sort of political thing like that, and the person survives, they become a martyr, they rise in popularity. So that's why I don't actually believe, it feels there's something, yeah, it's something doesn't ring true for me in the way all of it occurred. I know the other side also feels like very much like, yeah, how could this young person get to do this and all of that, and outsmart and oh, they were told and they didn't react. I think let's just wait for an investigation, but um, something, as they said, just doesn't pass the sniff test in terms of like what I always look at with something is who does it benefit? Who does the event benefit? And you guys know what I'm saying. So then you look at who benefits from this situation. And um, yeah, anytime you attempt to assassinate someone, they become a martyr, they become further elevated, right? So that's why I wonder, like, yeah, was it staged? Which, as I said, I don't think that would be that hard to do. And again, I'm not saying that like the gentleman who was killed that might not actually actually have been killed, because for many people they consider people collateral to what they you know I mean, none of us really knows, right? This is more of a intuitive feeling that something is off on that. Something it plays like political theater, if you guys know that phrase. Like, it just feels like theater. So, Annaville, I'm sorry that so much is going on for you. I always recommend, and I know in a lot of Black and Brown communities, but we're getting over this, therapy And often you can get therapy at a community clinic for relatively cheap, or your insurance covers it. All right. So that's something to look at, is therapy, along with any medication. I just think it's very, very helpful. Hmm. So yeah. Oh, Sharon, you feel the same? Yeah. It's just like I said, this is not, it's, so again, it's not how I normally react. Oh, that's fake. Oh, that's fake. That's fake. It's just, there's a couple little things in it, and I don't know who knew. I'm not saying that the main protagonist necessarily knew, probably, but there's definitely been a boost to them from this event. And again, that's why I'm always like, huh, who would benefit from this? Who would benefit from this? So, Sharon, I'm pulling it with the question of how to not get pulled into the darkness, the negativity. So that's the question I'm asking for you in your specific situation. And I mean the negativity swirling around us. So for Sharon, I'm pulling an angel card. Okay, I'm reaching in. I'm trying to separate them. And what did you get? You got upside down. Oh, interesting. Sisterhood and brotherhood. So some sort of group support. Sharon, does that resonate with you? There's a sense that you would be helped and supported in this time by being part of, whether it's a fraternity, sorority group, like, or yeah, sorority group that you were part of, or some sort of group support would help you in this time get through this period that we're going through. Sisterhood and brotherhood. um Maybe it's a volunteer group, maybe it's a church group, but that's what you got. Let me know if that resonates for you. Have you been thinking about maybe joining a group and getting some sort of support? Because that's what the angel cards say for you. And which makes sense. Like logically, yes, that makes sense. Hi, Donna. Oh, thank you. Yeah, see, it's not, it's blue. Donna, I'm upset because my skin is getting a bluish tinge, and the skylight, which I think skylights are kind of weird to have. And so the sun's right overhead, and I have a cloth that's blue that the sun is coming through. So basically, it's making my skin look bluish brown instead of like a warmer color. And then, of course, that downlight is never flattering. So please, please give me some grace. So, Sharon, let me know what you think of that. What you think of that. Let's see. So I'm going to jump. So, Donna, yes, welcome. So I just pulled for Sharon. I stopped alerts on my phone. The Google alerts are the worst. Yeah. Your dad was in his 30s and he was like that. Okay. I think for him it was education. He felt like he wanted you to be able to discuss current events. And yeah, I mean, I kind of get that. Yeah. The Google alerts are the worst. Exactly. Exactly. And Avila, I'll pull a card for you. You're in Louisiana. I find out from exactly. Yeah. Is it true that people in the South, when they hear it's a tornado warning, they'll go out and watch? I just saw this funny skit, like a 1 minute video. It was hilarious. The guy, I can't describe it, but it was hilarious. He was trying to get some Southern people to say that they will not go outside when they get a weather alert, and they couldn't say it. And everybody in the comments is like, yeah, when you hear a tornado's coming, you got to go see if it's true. And I'm like, they're like, yeah, we go outside and we sit and we try to watch it. I'm like, I don't explain. Don't explain. So, Sharon, let me know though. Does this resonate for you, sisterhood, brotherhood, or what do you make of it? So, I'm going to pull for Anavila. Sounds like you're going through a lot. I'm going to put back the sisterhood and brotherhood card. So, what would help you get through this darkness, this dark period? And it sounds like very much a personal, a period of like a dark night of the soul that you are going through. You got this card. Ah, compassion. So we've got one angel hugging another. So, in Avila, give yourself some compassion. It does sound like you said you had to leave the UK. You didn't feel you were treated well or understood, or like you had to basically leave the country. So the quality that you need more of in your life for your healing in this time is compassion. That makes a lot of sense. I would say self-compassion for you. Give yourself some grace. I've been saying that more. Give yourself compassion. I have some videos on the channel that are called Metta. Metta means loving kindness. You might want to, oh, you're welcome, Anavila. You might want to just Google that from my channel. Do compassion meditations. Compassion is basically like self-love for yourself and what you're going through. So rather than blaming yourself or saying, why can't I get out of this? What's wrong with me? It's my fault. Compassion is like picture an ideal mother, how a perfect mother would react, right? Would just be like, it's okay, and soothe you and just give you like lots of love. So, yeah, the angelic support you have is the quality of compassion. The quality of compassion. Guys, I can't, I'm gonna move back because I'm seeing myself in the camera and I'm like, I can't take that blue and that down light anymore. So I'm gonna try to move back. So you're gonna feel a little like shaky as I move you back. Let's move you guys back so that hopefully I'm gonna get out of the, all right, now I'm just in the darkness. Let's see. All right, who else would like a card pulled in terms of getting through this dark period that we're going through historically, energetically? And I'm going to move my light, so I'm just going to drag my light up. I'm dragging. Let me know in the chat if you'd like me to pull a card. So far, two very different bits of advice. One was to Sharon, sorry if I'm butchering your name, was to get in a group, get support, brotherhood and sisterhood. Then the next card was compassion. Be compassionate with yourself. All right. A little bit better. So I hope that works for you. Hi, Aziza. It's giving Avatar. Wait, is that like an Avatar look, Donna? So Sharon, is explaining how she kind of sets the tone for her day. I don't pick up the phone until 2 hours after getting up. Yep. I think I do that as well. The only way I would pick up my phone is if there's a chant, like if I'm doing a specific sadhana or something and it's on my phone. But yeah, I don't interact with my phone. It's probably 2 or 3 hours. So yeah, I think that's great advice. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Social media is social programming. Social media is built by brilliant humans that build an even more brilliant algorithm whose sole job is to seduce you into staying as long as possible on their app. There is no other, they don't care about anything. If you're watching people being murdered, they don't care. What they care about is the ad revenue. And so the longer you stay on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube as well, they'll feed you more. So we have to be vigilant, and it is very difficult because, again, this algorithm is extremely smart. And the algorithm understands that things that are emotionally triggering will keep most people watching. The same way that if you're driving in your car and you see a car crash, you cannot help but look because you're like, oh my God, your emotions are heightened. Once your emotions are heightened, you're hooked in energetically and you will stay. Okay, so this is literally the business of social media. And it's a shame because it has positives. I mean, I'm using it to share with you. People use it for positive things, but it also has tremendous negative side as well. And I don't know what the solution is. I just don't know. Well, I don't know if it's bad about picking up your phone. I thought you were going to say, Aziza, you're bad about putting down your phone. If you're bad about picking up your phone, I think that's fine. Oh, the native people. Right. No, they are blue. Okay, well, I wasn't that blue. Donna. No, you're right. You're right. Oh, Lord. Lot of mercy. Yeah. And the cloth, it's very hippie-ish, the way I've got it. It's not like it really blocks out the light, right? So not only does it turn me blue, but I'm still hot. You have to have something to complain about, to laugh about. I believe in plant alignment. What do you mean? Oh, planetary? Sharon? Okay, guys, you need to type more slowly. I want to know what you mean. All right, who else am I pulling a card for? Oh, I wake up with anxious thoughts, so I automatically go to my phone. Okay, Aziza, my love, you got to break yourself out of that. Perhaps put the phone far away from your bed, put it in a closet. Nothing terrible is going to happen. I'm going to make you laugh right now. For all of human history and before the internet, I grew up when there were landlines. If you were out, I know this is shocking, but just imagine you were out all day, you were grocery shopping, then you went some clothes shopping with your mom, and then, I don't know, you went to see a game or something. If somebody called you, you would not know till you got home. Like hours would pass and you wouldn't know things. And so you were free. And I want to talk about that a little bit as a meditation teacher. What I also see happening is the damage to the brain. I mean, again, proven, but what I'm seeing anecdotally is your brain needs downtime to rest. It needs time where it drifts a little bit in and out of different brain states, from a focused attention to a little more dreamy, and your brain kind of cycles through that, and it's very healthy. When you constantly have the phone and you're constantly looking for stimulation, it stops the brain from dropping into some of these more healing states, more restful states that like native peoples would have, where they might just be sitting under a tree and the lights just playing on the ground and they're watching a bird fly by and the brain kind of rests a little bit. When we don't give ourselves that, I strongly believe that's a big part of the ADD, ADHD, and all of the emotional problems that our children and our young people are having. Okay, but there's money to be made. And so, yes, there's research, but what are we going to do about it? If you are a parent watching this, seriously consider, if you've never considered what I'm saying, consider this. Look at how your children's access to internet, to phone, and maybe work with them a little bit on their habits so that they have a hobby where the phone and scrolling, some Instagram folks who they do not know, who might be faking that they're in Tahiti. They're not even in Tahiti. They're not in Fiji. They just did a backdrop, some BS, and your child is like addicted to this. So I think we as parents, as the mature generation, need to really look at what are you letting happen with the children? What are we allowing to happen with the children, especially the children that are in your sphere of control, that you are responsible for? That may sound old fashioned, but like I said, I am from Jamaica and we tend to have a more um, strict child rearing than most Americans. Okay, I'm going to go back to your comments. I'm going to go back to your comments. Yes, the natives were blue. Let's see, let's show some more comments. Yep. So we know you got to work on that. It does not help. Yeah, it doesn't help at all. Am I the only person who feels like TikTok is very unsettling? Oh, I can't. No, Donna, I cannot use TikTok. I'll go for like one video that I saw somewhere else, like a clip on YouTube, and it says TikTok at the top. TikTok, come on now. Who doesn't believe the whole Chinese connection? It's so stealth. It's a wonderful stealth way to get people staring at a screen, feed them what you want, collect data, maybe subtle programming. Who the hell knows? I find TikTok, and I do believe it's an age thing. I just find TikTok too fast and too unsettling. So I'm not even really drawn to it. Yeah, Aziza says she's the same. It's the fact, and Aziza, you're a young person, the fact that you can feel and see what it's doing is training our brains to have no concentration and to flit. From a flit is like what a bug does, like it, or a fly, right? It goes boop, 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 boop. It's training us to have no attention span and to have no concentration. When you have no attention span and no concentration, you cannot learn. You cannot reason, and you're easy to lead by the nose. I already see that in America. I believe that just the way our education system for the last 20, 30 years, here we are now. Your education system kind of precedes the people that you're going to have, right? Because those are young people. They go through an education system that is bad, and then you get what you get on the other end shows the result of a lack of education. And it's sad. It is sad. So yeah, no, TikTok I do believe is the worst, again, because of the speed. The speed of it is an unnatural speed for humans. And I believe it's having an effect cognitively. So if you want to buy into that, make other people rich, make yourself more stupid, then hey, you know, then do it. You deleted it. Awesome. Oh, I'm so glad. I think it's on my phone. It's sitting on my phone. I jumped to, like, I need to, like, just delete it because I try to look at it. It'll be someone very specific that I like, that I want to watch, and I'm like, you know what? It's just not worth it for me. If they need to put it in a longer form, in a more thoughtful form, more thought out, I don't want to get sucked in by the TikTok algorithm. Yeah. And okay, that is not clear. I think she meditation. What do you mean? Maybe I missed something. So let me go back. Sharon. Aziza, would you like me to pull a card? Yeah, more than other apps, it has a way of sucking people in. Yeah, it's the speed. But again, remember, it's designed to do that. It's not an accident. It's not our failure. It is designed by engineers to be addicting the way that cigarettes or drugs are by their nature addicting, and yet it's allowed. Yet it's allowed. Hmm. I feels like you are in a loop. You keep repeating. Okay. Well, yeah. Some stuff is new. What do you mean? Yeah, that's not 100% clear, but I am repeating some stuff. Absolutely. Whether it's TikTok or Instagram, absolutely. I think that, and I want to highlight the negative effects on our brains. So, yes, I do. Donna says, I deleted it too. My teens share stuff with me, so I use it very sparingly. I use it a little with my business because it's so popular. Yeah. Donna, are you finding any benefits though from using it for your business? Because another thing, if you are self-employed, right? You feel like, oh, it's social media. But Donna, how many social medias can we be on? So I know it's not just me. I've heard other people say this, like, okay, so yeah, there's LinkedIn for certain things, but there's Twitter, there's YouTube, there's Facebook. How many can you manage as one person, even with the help of AI, which is kind of making it easier, even with the help of AI? How What I'm saying is be aware that the machine might is using us. It starts to turn around. It's like, oh, it's a tool. It's so cool. You can on Facebook you can keep track of your friends and what they're doing, and your aunt that you don't see, your grandma who lives on the other side of the country. But be aware when it shifts to, instead of us using the technology is using us and enriching other humans at our expense. At our expense. And Avila, let me see what video. A book of a woman who healed herself. Well, there are many. There are two I always recommend. There is one by Queen Afua, Afua. I think it's Woman Heal Thyself. That'll get you close enough. And there's another one by a woman. Yeah, um, her name is Bree Maya Tawari. I'm just going to put it in the, yeah, Maya Tiwari. She did have treatment for her cancer, but then they still were like, "You're not healed," and then she stopped and did her own healing, and now she teaches natural ways of healing. Check her out. She was Asian. Yeah, it was Bri Maya Tiwari. Yeah, she's Indian, Southeast Asian. Yes. And yeah, and Sacred Woman is another one by Queen Afua. But I also recommend, yeah, Bri Maya Tiwari. She's Southeast Asian and she has a lot on, especially women's health. And I'm not going to get up, but I'm looking at her book. I think if you Google that, you'll find it. They were not having so much mental or emotional health issues. Um, that is a little trickier, but yeah, check it out. Check it out for sure. Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. Thank you. That is a classic. Um, and what is like Woman's Power to Heal is the other book. It's under my altar. Women's Power to Heal. It's a yellow book, yellow and orange. I also highly recommend that. It gives dietary, emotional, lifestyle. When you're healing, you need all the prongs. You need to, like, all the legs of the table need to be in place. Okay? So, Anavila, I hope that helps. I also strongly recommend finding a good therapist. Know that it can take a while to find a good therapist. Not all of them are good. Not all of them will you vibe with, but often it is covered by your insurance for at least a certain amount of sessions. So I strongly recommend that to get that component in. Okay, good. You're welcome. Anybody else would like me to pull a card in terms of what can help you not get pulled into the darkness and the negative energy that we're in right now? And while I wait, I can do a couple more. I do want to mention that tonight I am going to do a live for the full moon. Typically when I do, sometimes I call it Goddess Circle. It's for women. I'll probably do a relaxation of some sort, meditation, and then some sort of practice. I feel like I might do some affirmations. It is free. It is on Zoom. So if you want to, the problem is I don't like to put it out on YouTube publicly. That's the problem. So let me just think for a second, guys. This is what I'm going to do. If you go to my website, intheflowofmagic.com, I like to say because I truly believe we can live our lives in the flow. Yes, Donna, absolutely. I'm just putting my website name in there. In the Flow of Magic. If you hover around, hold on, a pop-up should come up where you can join my email newsletter. I'm waiting to see if it pops up. Hold on, but because it's me, it already knows me. I'm going to go to a private window and I'm going to see. So I'm doing a Zoom call tonight with meditation and affirmations for the full moon energy. Great. So if you go over to my website, In the Flow of Magic, you'll see, let me see if I can take a screenshot. I'm not sure YouTube will allow me to share that, even though it's my live. Hold on. Hold on to what we got. Will it let me? It doesn't look like, no, there's no way. I can only put text. Yeah, if you go to my website, In the Flow of Magic, and you hover, and then you look like you're going to leave, a pop-up will come up that says, Williams presents her material with style and grace, Yoga Journal Magazine, where I was featured. And you sign up and you enter your name and your email, and you'll get my newsletter. And I'm going to send the newsletter out probably in about an hour with a private Zoom link. So I don't want to put it on YouTube because then everybody can kind of see it. And I've mentioned this a couple times, but a friend of mine was on a Zoom call. I don't know if it was pre-recorded, this incident, but they basically, a guy came on like jerking off and screaming, like, and in front of everybody, like he just somehow got onto their Zoom call and was obscene and like crazy and obscene. And so I just hesitate to put my Zoom link directly on YouTube. All right. So join my email list and I'll send it out to the newsletter folks. So Donna, I will pull a card for you again with the theme of what can you do in your life, or what is the energy now so you don't get pulled into the darkness and the Trauma, drama, energy for Donna. Wow, you got honesty. You got honesty. It's an angel looking into a mirror. So, how can you bring the quality of honesty into your life? Maybe about something you're doing, Donna, or something you're feeling. Be honest with yourself about that, or be honest with others. Is there somebody you need to be honest with? I'm curious. I always like to wait to get the comment. So, yeah, Donna, does that resonate with you? There's an issue for you that will be positive around honesty about perhaps your thoughts, feelings, or a situation where you need to bring the quality of honesty. Aziza, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I will pull a card for you. Just reading the comments here. Sharon Langford, you said not joining but starting. I don't know what you're referring to. And no, it's not. I sleep. I don't, because I'm talking. I don't know unless you write a complete sentence, my love. It's hard to know what you are referring to. Donna, yes, you haven't really gotten any hits. Exactly. Donna, there are a couple people who claim they've gotten completely off of social, not necessarily YouTube. They've gotten off of social and seen their business grow more. One, because they have more energy. Two, you can focus on things like getting on podcasts. I love getting interviewed on podcasts or having a podcast, or just other ways of, rather than just posting constantly on social. With the rise of AI, just like you, I care about this. You have to understand that social media is going to be even more swamped, and what you post is going to be seen by less and less people. So there are many business owners who are claiming they are doing less on social media and finding other means to market their business. Okay. So I'm going to pull for Aziza now. So, Donna, let me know if honesty rings for you. Okay. There's a situation where you need to be honest. I'm putting that card back in. And I'm pulling for Aziza. And Aziza, what can you do in your life that will make you less drawn into the darkness, the trauma, drama, the energy that is on the planet right now? What can you do? And you got acceptance. Aziza, you got acceptance. So acceptance, there are a couple ways, Aziza, that acceptance, I could take it. Is it self-acceptance? Working on acceptance of maybe parts of yourself, um, your thoughts or your feelings. Maybe, like, I'll just give a random example. Maybe you're unhappy in a relationship, but you might not want to really feel that way because you don't want to not be in a relationship, for example. So, acceptance of what you truly feel, Aziza, let me know if that resonates for you. Acceptance of yourself, your feelings, your thoughts. Or maybe there's a person you need to accept. I'll give an example, again, not specifically for you. Like maybe someone, if I had someone in the family who's a drinker and I keep trying to change them and change them and change them and it's not working, and I got this acceptance card, it might be like we need to accept that it's their choice or that we may not be able to help them. So Aziza, let me know if that resonates for you. I always like to know after I pull the card if that resonates. Oh no, King's Wellness. Hey, you got pulled off. I don't think it's my internet because I'll get a warning like unstable, but I'm glad you're back. It was education for him, however, that's how I felt. Thanks for the pull. I appreciate it. You're welcome. You are welcome. Donna. Donna says, I think, Donna, you got honesty. Is that right? Um, Donna says it does resonate because for me, it's hard to open up and say how I feel, how I really feel. It's something I'm trying to work on. Yeah. Hmm. I totally hear you on that. As women, often if something could be hurtful, we're very, very reluctant to share it, or how to share it in a way where the person doesn't get angry at us, or we don't lose the relationship. So, yeah, honesty, it's not that we want to be dishonest, but it's like, how can I share my true feelings? So I'm glad that resonated for you. But you have the card, when I draw it, it's that this is the angelic support you have. Yeah, that's the angelic support you have. Aziza, did you get your card? I pulled it, and now I honestly don't remember what your card was, Aziza. Um, but hopefully you were on here when I pulled your card, because I literally don't remember. Between talking, thinking, talking, pulling cards, reading comments. Yeah, hopefully you saw it. Oh, you didn't? Hey, does anybody remember? Because it's funny, I said her name several times. I remember being like, Aziza, this is your card. So can somebody in the chat live remember what was Aziza's card? Because I don't. I was in another realm. Okay. Aziza, someone, oh, her card was acceptance. Thank you, Donna. Donna, I believe, and you can see her picture here, yogi. She was very concentrated. Yeah. So Aziza, you got acceptance. Yes. Insurance says yes. So you got acceptance. Right, right, right. And I was saying, Aziza, is it self-acceptance, acceptance of another person or a situation? Yeah, I gave all these analogies. You weren't here. Okay. So Aziza, does acceptance ring out? Okay. She says, thank you. So what is it you need to accept? And that's what's going to help your life be more smooth at this time that we're in. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me just check the time. Okay, I've been live for an hour. I have to go. I'm going to check in with a friend. But remember, tonight I am going to see, I'm good. Aziza says, I've been struggling with self-acceptance. But Aziza, you're young, and that is really common. It's actually a good thing because you're kind of examining yourself and how you want to be, and it's just part of like your process. So yeah, acceptance. Yep, that's the card you got right. And the angel was looking, there was a doorway. See, that's how visual I am. I didn't remember the word, but now that I have the card, I can remember what the card looked like. She was looking at a doorway, and the doorway says welcome, and she's like back from the doorway, thinking if she should go in, and the card was acceptance. Yeah, you're always very hard on yourself. Yeah. Don't be. I mean, this is literally the angelic support is for you to drop into that quality of acceptance. Just maybe let's give you an affirmation. I love and accept myself just as I am now. And you could wrap your arms. You couldn't see that I was doing that. Like wrap your arms here and just say, I love and accept myself, and just give yourself a squeeze and say, I love and accept myself just as I am in this moment, or I love and accept myself. I have lots of wonderful qualities. And then you could name them still with maybe this gesture of a hug, of a self hug. Like, I am playful. I love the playful aspect of myself, or I love the serious aspect of myself. I love the introverted aspect of my personality, something like that. Okay. That we can all do something like that. Yes, 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 yes. So, anybody else who's here live? No? Okay. Who I think I have not pulled for? Okay, perfect. So, keep yourself clear, keep your aura clear, keep your energy clear. Check your time that you're spending on the socials, especially the shorter, quicker socials are more disruptive, in my opinion and my observation. If you're watching YouTube and you're watching something you're really interested in and it's going in depth and it's helpful, that's different than literally scrolling mindlessly about stuff you literally don't care about or that upsets you. Watch your energy and ask yourself, am I being upset by this, or am I being uplifted Am I being educated or uplifted by this right now? And if you are, right, then it's a yes. If you don't feel good, then it's a no, right? Hmm. You are right. Just like we waited on our mom to pick us up from school after events, we could not call and say we were ready. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Life, we're not going to go backwards completely to that. We can't, but there was space in your life, right? So, say a kid waiting for your mom to pick you up, you read a comic book, you drew, you talked to your little friends, you stared off into space. all of that, all of that was like healing and relaxing and a little break, right? It was not constant stimulation. We weren't designed for that. We were not designed for that. Aziza, be encouraged. I think all of our 20s are plagued with those feelings. Yes. Um, I really should make a video like what I would say to my 20-year-old self, because those also tend to do very well. Um, when you're that age, you are self critical because you're trying to figure yourself out. So you're going to be almost more analytical and maybe even negative about yourself. Yeah. Donna, that is great, great advice. My heart goes out to you, but just know that you are divinely created and perfect just as you are. Yes. Be encouraged. And plagued is a good word. It's just like you can't get out from under it, but with time, it gets better and better. Yeah, with time, it gets better and better. So watch some affirmation videos and Aziza, write for the opposite of how you're feeling. So if you feel depressed, you don't suppress that you're depressed, but say something like, every day, I make sure I do something I love, right? Like, because when we're depressed, we stop doing what we love. So, Aziza, you could make an affirmation to help yourself do, like, oh, you love singing. Okay, so every day I make sure to use my beautiful voice to bring joy. So you can work with it. You can work with it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful. Thank you all so much for being here. And again, tonight I think it's going to be at 7:30. So what you do, go to my site, In the Flow of Magic, wait for a pop-up to come up, like move your mouse like you're going to leave, and a pop-up says, hey, you'll get these meditations. Join Viv's newsletter. And I will send out the link. I'm sorry if you miss it though, because it's hard to time it. I want to send out the link a couple hours ahead, but the Zoom goddess circle full moon thing, we're just going to relax. I might have some affirmation, so a different energy. It's not public on YouTube. um, Join that email newsletter, and hopefully I'll wait about an hour after this is posted, so it's 2:30 now. Probably around 3:30 I'll send out the link for that. Hope you can attend. And this is going to be held sort of as part of my community. Thank you for your support of this channel. Please, please, please consider supporting the channel. Donna, Aziza, Sharon, if you can. And it's, I believe, $11.99 a month. It includes 1 to 2 live meditations a week in a private space, like online, and other perks. And so there'll be a library of different meditations and different spiritual things that you can access as a member. And that's my newest way to join the channel membership. And this way, YouTube also doesn't take part of the money. Because when you contribute or you become a channel member, just so you guys know, of anybody's channel, YouTube, I want to say takes 40%. 40, I don't think it's 50. I think they take 40%. So this way I have a private, it's on Thinkific. It's not Facebook. I don't have a Facebook group. It's a private space where you're not tracked. Your data isn't being sold. And so consider joining that. Oh yeah, and you will get the link if you already get the newsletter. Absolutely. It's just for the folks watching this who aren't on it. The timing needs to be right, because if they join after I send it, then they're not going to. Yeah, Donna, at King's Wellness, they're not going to see the link. So I'm going to wait a little bit till this goes after the live ends. I'm going to say by about 3:30, maybe 4, I'll send out the link to everybody. All right. And so I will do something relaxing. So it's not going to be just listening to me talk. I'm probably going to lead you in a relaxation. We might do legs up the wall. We might do a supported shavasana. Um, we'll see how the energy moves. So much love. And if you're watching from the future, leave your comments. How do you not get drawn into the darkness, the vortex of negativity? Do you have a morning routine that you do? How do you avoid social media? Is there specific social media that you're just like no, like TikTok? Are you like no on TikTok or Twitter? I actually left Twitter, goddesses, and I'm still thinking about going back because I do want to promote, especially my one-on-one meditation coaching. And Twitter gets out, but Twitter can be so toxic, and now Elon Musk runs it, and yada yada. Probably not going back. Probably not. Ugh. But I do like the real time aspect of Twitter. I do. So we'll see. Much love. See you this evening.